Hey, Sim fam, welcome to Unfiltered. This is our interview series where we link up with your favorite indie artists to dig deeper into their creative process, their personal journeys, and everything in between. Today, we're chatting with Emily Jeffri, all about exploring queer freedom and having fun with it. The shows create a safe space where everyone can feel good about who they are with no labels and no guilt. So, welcome, Emily. Thank you for being here.
Hello! Thank you so much.
Before we start, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, about your career, your project, everything that you do.
So basically, I am a lesbian. I have a lovely girlfriend. She's very cool. I have been making music, sort of exploring that and finding that out about myself for a really long time. Like before I realized that that's what I was doing. I mean, even last year, before I was fully comfortable coming out, I wrote a whole project about a lesbian couple that weren't allowed to be together. But I was just like, yeah, I'm just doing that for fiction, just for the bit. But it wasn't actually. But yeah, I've mean music, like just making music. I've done it since I was like 12. I had GarageBand on my phone when I was a kid, and I thought it was a video game. And then I didn't realize you could save your progress in it until I was 13, 14. And then I realized, oh, I'm an idiot. This is actually how people make music. And then I made music. Yay!
So cool.
Thank you.
We're glad you did that because your music is so amazing. Your songs like often carry a really nostalgic and like cinematic vibe. What draws you like to storytelling through those retro and like emotional lenses?
I have synesthesia, and so like whenever I listen to any tunes, it's music specifically, more mainly for me. That's like it. I don't know. I mean, even with when I released my album that was supposed to be like a soundtrack to a horror film, I haven't actually, and like I feel like people will hate me, but they won't hate me. But like I haven't watched loads of horror films. I don't hate. I love horror movies. I think they're great. But like I the I just sort of I didn't know how to explain this. I didn't know synesthesia was a thing for a really long time too. So I thought I was being stupid. But whenever I hear those like scratchy like cheese grater esque sounds, I would always picture like that and like spikes and like the dark reds and the like swirlies and you know that scene in Ratatouille where he like eats the cheese and the strawberry and then it's like that
Yeah,
like
like
that.
he goes back.
Yeah, that's literally me. But everything's spooky and it's so cool. And I feel like that sounds really dumb, but it's just I don't know, color and like sound and everything. And I don't really know what I'm saying, but I think the retro vibe just comes from I guess my love of synths, but then it's so weird because I feel like I've discovered everything backwards. Like as I was making my music and I had that vibe in my head that I'd sort of come up with like on my own. Obviously it already existed and exists, but I'd sort of come to it by myself. I then discovered all of this other cool stuff and was like, oh my god. And so now I'm getting more into the stuff that makes sense. I haven't seen this is a crazy one. I've not seen Stranger Things. And I've actually told people that I've seen Stranger Things because I
Wow.
feel like my fans would be so mad. So this is like an apology video because I've actually not seen Stranger Things. I was talking to my girlfriend about it and she was like, she pulled that face at me. She didn't do that, but she was shocked that I hadn't seen Stranger Things.
Yeah, for sure. Like speaking of your fans and everything that you've told us is so cool. Like I've never heard that before and I love that.
Thank you.
But like speaking of your fans, there's something really like cinematic also and like collaborative about how they interact with your music, with the decoding, the cosplaying, the theorizing, everything. Does that community response like shape how you write or release your music now?
Absolutely. I love them. I think it's so cool because when I'd first started taking music a bit more seriously, I was still at school and like I didn't know what I could actually do with it or if it was going to be my job because I didn't know it could be my job. I was making music on my phone, so I was like, no one's going to take this seriously. And then they did, and I was a bit confused, but I was really happy about it. And the way that this incredible community of people has just decided that like Oh, I just love them. Like a couple of years ago when we did Zapotha, like people went insane with it. And it was so cool. And like now, like last year with the project I did a festival. I played Rock in Seine in Paris, and there was this girl up at the front, like right in the front at the middle. And like during my performance, she was like, "Oh my god, I've actually forgotten the name of the character in my own." She was like, "Who's?" I actually don't remember who it is. That's not great. But she was like, "Who's Claire?" It wasn't Claire, but she like yelled that while I was performing, and I was like, "What?" That's kind of crazy. But I just love it. I love how interactive and fun it has been. And like at the moment, I had to take a little break from it, and everyone's been so understanding, which is so fire, and I really, really appreciate it because I'm starting to do a little bit better now. But I really struggled with depression kind of at the beginning of this year, and I'd started doing custom shirts for my fans and like bleaching them. They'd give me designs and stuff, and it'd been so fun. But I just needed to take a bit of a break from everything, so I stopped doing that too for a little bit. And everyone's been really nice. But I'm about to start properly doing that and making content for that again and getting back into what I love doing, which is really exciting. This is like the first proper interview thing I've done since deciding that I'm gonna get back into my life. So thank you for.
So we're really honored if that's the case.
But yeah, I feel ready and I feel good again, and yeah, and I'm with the way that my fans interact. I feel like they're going to be really excited for the next thing I do because I want to. I've started planning my next album, and I'm gonna basically be like exploring, like, with the antidepressants I take sertraline, and it's had this crazy impact on my dreams. Like I have the most vivid, like intense dreams, and I didn't know that was a side effect. And I've talked to other people, like some of my mates, and just like gone online and stuff and seen as well. Like it's a common thing, but I had no idea, and it's really freaky. It's like I'll be like talking to someone. I was talking to my girlfriend yesterday, and we were like, la, 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 I don't remember what I was talking about, and then I randomly was like, wait. And then I remembered this, like I just had this whole like it's like memories, it's like randomly having memories. It's so weird, and it takes me a minute to realize it's like not real. Even if it's like in some, like in one that I had a couple days ago, I'm starting to write them down because I basically want to release an album where each of them are like different dreams that I have while taking sertraline, and I just want to like, I don't know. I think it will be cool for people to try and be like, because I don't know, people like dreams and they like trying to figure out what they mean and stuff. And it's also really cool because it's quite personal to me, but I think it's the right way for me to come back in a healthy way. And also it will like destigmatize. I don't know, I was really scared of going on antidepressants. So I think this will be really cool and make people not afraid of them because they're actually pretty fire and I feel pretty great.
I'm glad to know you're feeling better. Speaking of like mental health, how is it like to navigate this industry, the music industry and everything, while having some mental health problems? Because this can be like a pretty hard industry, like on your mental health, and there are like no resources. People don't talk about that enough. Like, how do you feel like you manage that?
It sucks balls. It sucks so bad. It's like, I've had fun, and I mean, last year was incredible. I had a massive team last year, but so much happened. Like some lame stuff happened as well. But like it was fun. I really enjoyed last year when I was like really I really committed to it for a full year, and I'd like moved out of home. I lived on my own, and I signed a record deal. It was really cool. Had a bunch of different record deals thrown at me. It was very exciting. I was like driving around. I was like, this is really cool. And then towards the end, I was like, I don't know, because there were just a lot of things that weren't explained to me, which like I should have asked, but I didn't know to ask. And I was literally like freshly 18 when I signed, and like I didn't know, like people don't know that with record deals, there's like the big lump sum or whatever, but it's actually like split into how much the record label gets to keep and spend on you and how much you get. So I didn't know that. And then when I'd moved out, I found out I was actually going to be on half the wage that I thought I was going to be on, because I thought I got all of that sum. And like they also gave me that sum before April, and I had no idea how the tax year worked either. So this year I've had the most horrendous tax bill of my life that makes no sense, because they're going off of as if I earned a bajillion million pounds when I didn't. I didn't earn that. But I'm being really brave about it. And at least I know now, at least all of this happened at 8. Well, it sucks that it happened at 18, but at least it happened now and not in the future. I'm glad that it's already happened and isn't yet to happen. But holy shit. God.
No, like no one teaches you how to be an adult and like how to do taxes and stuff. Like
I
just discover that.
To be fair, I have it a little bit easier because I've got a really lovely my accountant's really great. Shout out to my accountant, because without her, I don't think I would be able to do literally anything.
I'm glad to know that. A team effort is important.
It's so important. I mean, like, to the point, this is how awful I am. Like, I have a signature, but I don't know. Like, no one had, like, it's just, I don't even understand how people that, like, because I guess years ago, I guess it's still a thing now, people that, like, check if a signature was fraudulent. Who fucking, you just do that, you know? Like, it's not like anyone could have, how do you know who wrote that? You don't know. You don't know. It's, like, so dumb. And so I'll just be like, oh, yeah, Emily. Like, I don't know. And so my accountant emailed me, or, like, someone there emailed me and were like, Emily, you actually can't do that. We've just had this document sent back, and you used, like, several different signatures. We're going to send this to you again, and you have to do this again. And it was really embarrassing. Because, I mean, like, they were all roughly, like, I don't know. I don't even know what I wrote. Because who cares? Oh my god, online, everyone's signing stuff online now anyway, and it's electronic signature. Who fucking knows who did that? Someone could have hacked onto my laptop and just written Emily Jeffri and sent it. Sorry, that was an unnecessary one.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Totally get you. Going back a little bit to Sepulta, you really turned the internet upside down. Like a fictional film that really like was felt by millions. What does that moment say to you about like how powerful storytelling can be even beyond music?
It was just so surreal. I mean, like, I was definitely kind of like, I wish that I was more prepared for how that would go, because I would have loved to have tried harder to come up with a bit of a more cohesive, like, storyline for everybody to follow. But it just, I got home at like 3 in the morning, I don't remember, with my dad, from this like concert that we'd gone to. And then I like made that shit post as a joke. I was like drunk and half asleep, and I was like, this would be funny, this would be so funny. And then I went to bed and I woke up and there was already like stuff on eBay, and like it was everywhere. And it had been like, I woke up at like 7, I had like 4 hours of sleep. I thought I was like delirious and confused. So I just didn't know. It just happened so way too fast. Well, no, I mean, it was great, but I had no idea what to do. And I sort of wished that I did, but I also kind of loved that I didn't. And people kind of criticized that aspect of it, but I thought it was so cool. I feel like the people that didn't like it didn't go through and watch like the film competition and like all of that really cool stuff, people making posters and people getting really artsy and cool. I think it's just so beautiful, because I just thought it was like a silly little thing, and everyone else took it in so many different ways, and they came up with different stories. And some people were like, oh, there's this lesbian sideline, and then there's a forest scene, and in the forest scene this guy is here, and people would just like kind of make little self-inserts, and I thought that was awesome. And it was like everyone experiencing that world. And then my album, people would then just associate that with these different worlds that they'd built themselves instead of me giving them a world, which I loved. I thought that was awesome, and I really hope I can do that again with my like dreams, because it's so cool to see how people interpret dreams. I always go online and I'm like, if I had a dream that all my teeth fell out, what does that mean? and then that everyone's like, you're anxious, everyone hates you, or like, you should go to the dentist. And I think it's so fun. So I really hope I can do, not as a pother again, but I hope I can have that impact on my community again, because I miss it and I'm ready for it. So yeah.
That's so cool. You know about the dreams thing, like every time I have like a weird dream, I do go online. But if the meaning they tell me is something bad, I'm like, no, I'm gonna ignore that and I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
focus on like the positive.
yeah. It
Uh,
really
it,
freaks
it-
me out sometimes.
yeah. No, like people go lengths when you like interpreting your dreams. I'm like, yeah, I just dreamt something really silly, and they're like, no, that means like someone's gonna die. I'm like, what?
Right. Or like on TikTok at the moment, I hate it. I've actually put a lock on my phone. Whenever I open TikTok, I'm going to show you this because it's the spelling mistake's funny. Whenever I open TikTok on my phone, it says TikTok have been locked, and I think that's funny. But but when I was on TikTok last, I had so many videos come up on my feed that were like, so I had this prophetic dream about the future where there was this one I saw where this woman was like, yeah, I had a dream a long time ago that I worked in this bar and I was pregnant and then someone came and killed me. And I was like, what the fuck? And now she's pregnant and she works at this bar. And it's like, I feel like people are lying. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like, no, you're not predicting the future with your dreams. I'm sorry, you're not. I'm sorry. I get deja vu. I had a really intense episode of deja vu that I remembered from years ago, where I walked past this co-op shop in a dream years before, and then I went and it was in this place called Headington that is near where I am, and I walked down and I saw that co-op for the first time, and I was like, wow. But also it was just a green shop. Like, I don't remember the dream I had accurately from like 5 years ago. I would have been like 10 at that point in time. So I don't know. It doesn't stop. Doesn't matter. But maybe it does. Ooh, whoa. And that's what I'm
Maybe
going to
it does.
explore with my stuff that I do.
Okay. You know, it must be, does it take like a little bravery to like expose yourself, your dreams, your stories, and everything, and giving the fans like a little control over them? Because if they are giving themselves some meanings to that and changing the stories and doing some sideline things, is it sometimes like, do you feel vulnerable when doing that, like putting yourself out there and having them like maybe take things to a different landscape where you wanted it to go?
Um, I don't know. I feel like dreams are quite well, like they are really personal, even though I don't think we like have a lot of control over them. Like, I mean, I keep bringing up my girlfriend, but we were talking about how she'd had a dream where like I was like being really mean to her or something, and she wouldn't tell me like what I said because she was like embarrassed about that because it's like for whatever, I don't know. She doesn't control the dream, so I just wanted to know, and I was bullying her about it. Maybe that was what she was dreaming about. I kind of get that. I don't know. I sometimes have really weird dreams where I'm kind of like I had this dream where I was this like 50-year-old man, and I was living in this weird casino room, and everything was like really neon, and it was very like retro futuristic, and my wife like didn't have a face, but I like thought it was like my current girlfriend, but I also just don't remember anything about her face. It was so weird. And I was like walking around and like there were all these like weird misshapen cameras and it was so weird and cool, but really realistic. It was so odd. And like I was like, I don't know if I want to talk to my girlfriend about that because I don't really want to be like, yeah, I was a 50-year-old man and you didn't have a face and it was weird and like we kissed and stuff, but you also didn't have a face, so I actually don't really know. Yeah, like, and I told her about it, but she was, you know, like, oh, that's well, she actually thought it was really cool, but I think it's weird, and so like, I guess there's a part of me that's like a little self-conscious that people will think I'm like weird, but I don't think it's that weird. I feel like everyone has odd dreams, so I feel like it will be cool. I think it'll be cool. I don't know. I think I'd love to see what people think about the dream I had where I was a 50-year-old man. Maybe they think I have like gender envy. Who knows? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I do. I probably do.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Cool. Can you I love everything. Like, this is the most interesting conversation I've had in a while.
Thank you.
Going back to like your career and everything, can you tell us about a moment recently? It can be either the studio or a show or just like in life in general that
Yeah.
reminded you why you make music.
Yeah. Oh man, I put out a song recently. I've been sort of like on like I hadn't been super serious. The last song I put out seriously was probably Normal at the beginning of the year, and like I still took the song that I put out just recently seriously, but I didn't put a lot of strain on myself to like promote it too much because it was just a lot of fun and it meant a lot to me that I got to put that song out because I got to work in one of Radiohead's studios for free, which was stupid and dumb and crazy, and I cried a lot. And it was so cool. It was Studio One in, if I can't remember what it is, that's so crap and bad. Um, oh my god, I'll remember, or I'll message it to you, and you can be like, that place. It was here.
For sure.
And it was like the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. It was so sick. And we just had so much fun. There was a wonderful, incredible lady there called Izzy that like helped us do loads of cool bits and bobs. Um, oh, it was so fun. It was so fun. And basically we just did so much cool stuff. Like we took this like Fisher Price kids toy microphone thing, or Izzy had already done this for us because she was like, guys, I have an idea, and we were like, okay, go for it. Like I had actually never met her at this point, so I was like, hell yeah, give it a whirl. And she duct taped this Fisher Price kids like box thing to this microphone stand. And I walk into this huge studio, there's all this crazy equipment, and she's just set up this little like this little like kids microphone toy in the middle of this giant recording hall on the other side of this like window. And she was like, that's for you. And I was like, cool. And we sung with that, and it was awesome. It was so awesome. It was so sick. She did loads of other technical stuff to make it sound good, and Paul did, my producer, and they like did, I don't know what they did, but cool, really cool. Pretty sick stuff. And just it's just been awesome. And like since working with my producer Paul more and more, he's just been teaching me about like I'm learning all about analog synths, like because I'd been digital completely before, and I like don't know music theory, which is sometimes kind of a bummer for him, I think. Like he loves it and he loves me and it's great. But also I'll be like, oh, can you do this one bit? There's this one sound that's sort of like there. It looks like this shape. There, no, not that one. And he'll like just scroll through all of the different stems and be like, I don't know. Oh, okay, that. And then he'll just say what I should have said, and it's like the most simple sentence. He's like, oh, the fucking I don't know. I don't know. He just knows, and I'm gonna know one day, but I don't know right now, and that's okay because music is about feeling, so it's fine.
Exactly. That's totally right.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, I have one last question. What songs are you currently listening to, like on repeat? You seem very interesting in your music taste, so like put us onto something new.
The song "Oh Baby" by LCD Sound System makes me cry and weep and sob every time I listen to it. And I think if you're listening to it for the first time, you should watch the music video at the same time because it's the most simple but beautiful music video I've ever seen in my life. I think it's so gorgeous. It's about this like old couple and then building this like teleportation machine, and then something goes wrong, and then but I'm not going to spoil it, but it's really cool, and I love it. I think it's so incredible, and I've been really love it. I only found out like really about LCD Sound System like towards the end of like last year, and I went to see them live in June, and it was just the best. It was so great. I had such a good time. It was awesome. It was so sick. And yeah, love LCD Sound System. If you've never heard the song Dance Yourself Clean before, that's like the big one, but listen to it because it's really good. And have your headphones all the way up. It's really quiet, and then it's spoilers. Who knows what happens next? Really good stuff.
I'll do that.
Also, The Girls by Calvin Harris. I tried making a bunch of different songs that sounded like that with my old label, and they were like, "That's kind of stinky," and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy that you would say that." But we don't work together anymore. They're also really lovely. I've just hated on them. It was bad. It was objectively bad what I made, and it's not out, so you know why it's not out, because it was bad. But like, such a good song, and like, I don't know. I love the Dare and stuff, but I feel like, and I don't want to compare people. I don't want to, whatever. The Dare is also really good, but like early Calvin Harris is the blueprint for the Dare. I feel, and I feel like that's okay. I feel like it's okay to have a blueprint. The Dare, you're still cool. He still makes cool stuff. The Girls by Calvin Harris, fire. Actually, just so fire and so good. And I listen to it all the time. I'm like, I love it. It's great. That's a good song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm gonna go listen to that.
My favorite song, also, this is kind of an embarrassing one, but I won't explain it. I'm going on. But Midnight City by M83 is my favorite song. It's kind of embarrassing. It's not embarrassing, but I feel like people associate it with adverts all the time. But it's so good. Listen to it outside of that, and like, let's connect to it in color land and think about the colors and think, and just it's so good. And the original album cover was like purple and blue, and it pissed me off so much for the 10th anniversary, because it came out in 2011, I think. For the 10th anniversary, they changed it to like orange and red to like celebrate, and that's great and lovely. And M83, I have an M83 tattoo because I love M83. Oh. Thank you. But like you, why would you do that? Like, purple and blue with the color, that's exactly how that, it was perfect, and now it's orange and red, and I think that's stupid. But it was awesome because their record label gifted me all of their vinyls, and they remembered that I'd said that, and they gifted me the original purple and blue one, and I thought that was really cute. So shout out to Mute. Wow. They're really nice people.
Yeah, amazing. Wow, that was great. I'm gonna go listen to all those recommendations, and I'll get back to you.
Sorry I kept going. I'm really sorry.
No, it's okay. If you want to keep going, we're here for that.
Yay! Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily, for being part of Unfiltered. We loved having you. And that's a wrap on our first episode of Unfiltered Europe with Emily Jeffri. Thank you so much for joining us. This is just the beginning. We've got more artists, more stories, and more unfiltered conversations coming your way. Stay tuned.